you'll start at your camera and brand new segment.
Right.
Speed. Okay, VTR speed. VTR is speed, please. Yes. No? Okay, here we go. Hold it. Keep rolling, guys. Keep rolling. What's up? Yeah, we're still rolling. So, VTR is rolling. Yes. Okay. 5, 4.
Welcome back. I've been involved in Ventura for, it's now coming on 24 years. And down on the avenue, we've been trying for a long time to really make that a good place to live, to have a place where you can walk. Jim Rice is down there with Bell Arts, and we were talking the other day about all the things they're doing. Today, Uriel is joining us. Uriel, tell us how you got involved with Bell Arts and Ventura, and what are you up to?
Well, I manage an art collaboration out of Ventura and Santa Barbara. About a year ago, I moved to Ventura and was, got together with my colleagues, and I was like, look, we need a space to create. And, we heard of The Wave and we heard of Bell Arts, and we were like, well, Bell Arts, it's like right in between both of us, It's myself and my right-hand man, Kyle Navarro. And we were like, well, let's call Bell Arts. And, we called somebody, of course, he's a local, so he's lived here, he's 31, so he's lived here his whole life. And of course, he knew somebody. So we went and, with that contact, and, basically Bell Arts has given us a space. They've been so much help in what's going on. As far as Momentum Collab, which is the collaboration that I manage, there's 5 artists. I'm a graphic designer and web designer, standard graphics, and with that said, then we have Kyle Navarro, which is portraits and realism aerosol painter. So he does these great portraits of iconic figures. He does, of course, there's a brother to this piece, but it's a Indian, and here's the cowboy, and really modern look. It's all street art. That's basically all of our backgrounds. So that's Kyle. Then we have Chad Westmoreland, who originally is from Kansas City, Missouri, and he is actually our DJ and tattoo artist. He's a full-time tattoo artist down in Santa Barbara, or up in Santa Barbara, at 805 Tattoo on State Street, and as well as he is an artist. So he's, we've done work with quite, some really big clients, but we're just hoping to expand, and Bell Arts has given us that opportunity. As well, I have a manage a videographer as well, and his name is Michael Shaneblum. He does a lot of time-lapse work. Big clients. He basically films a lot of our environment. He does time lapses of busy intersections to constellations to a flower growing, really beautiful, intoxicating film, and he's just amazing. And then of course we have, which I like to call, our wild card, which is Martin Diaz, and he's more an abstract painter, very modern, but it's not just abstract. It's very colorful and pattern work. Most of us are Hispanic. Myself, Kyle Navarro, and Martin Diaz are all Hispanic. So we've seen patterns, and we've seen bright colors from the Mexican culture, and we've seen we're all involved with like the Native American culture, and there's patterns throughout. So he uses a lot of those colors and that kind of background for his work. And we make fun of him because we call him the space filler, because we also, as a collaborative, we come from a street background, so we also do mural work as well. Since I've moved here about a year ago, we've painted 7 murals in the city of Ventura. And there's some talk about maybe proceeding some prospects on the actual city aspect that they might actually extend to us as well. Of course, all through Bell Arts. Bell Arts is they've introduced us to, to basically, the people that we need to talk to. Jim Rice specifically. We're actually doing a show here that I've been working with Jim, and hand in hand, and basically he's just been a blessing, because we as artists, and it goes back to momentum, why I started it. It was, I had a group of artists is better than one artist, and so basically I was blessed to have such talented friends, and I was like, look, one at a time. I was very strategic about who I picked, because it wasn't just about, are you good? It's about, how dedicated are you to the cause, and how much does it mean to you? And of course, we're all good friends, so we all get along, and
Well, tell me about your creative process. So you've got 5 different media, it sounds like.
Yeah.
So one informs the other. The website informs the graphic art, informs the video, informs the. So what goes through your head?
We have that we're blessed with that mind that can just process, and we've been working with each other, for a year and a half, and I throw an idea out. Since we come from a street background, and we know how to think on our feet, everything is done organically. We basically have a client, so as a graphic designer, I have my steady client base. Excuse me, and a client comes in, we sit down with him, and he explains, say we're designing a website, he explains what he wants and what he wants to, sell or advertise. And so what we do is we actually ask him the questions that he's like, we ask him, what do you want your client to feel? What do you want, your ideal client to, what is the steps that you want your client to navigate through your site? And from there, I basically create the visual part. Then my web designer, then he's just got to make it. But, I get everybody's ideas. And of course, it's a process. So, I run something by him, he runs something by him, and, collectively we build.
Well, you had an interesting word in there, feeling. So when I look at a website, I go, oh, there's a bunch of pixels up there, and those are zeros and ones, and how do you make a feeling? So I want to go back there, and find navigation, find, getting places, but feeling. That's what graphic design's all about. How do you make someone feel something from looking at a computer screen?
I was working for, I'll take you back a little bit. I was working for Sidekick Creative. It's a design firm out of Santa Barbara, and they, basically, I didn't go to school for design. I took all their art classes, but I'm a freaking average guy, B, C's, and but I was very passionate about learning how to graphic design. It started from skateboarding. Skateboards have all these amazing art on their boards that people, you change it comparing to your style depending to who you are, and so I was an artist at heart, so I started drawing, and then basically the companies that had sponsored me, I had a couple of local companies that I skateboarded for, so they found out that I did design. Then next they're like, design our next board, and then from there, Sidekick Creative, I met Jake Van Tiger, and he was like, we're looking for somebody. Of course, I've been hanging around the tattoo shop, and he was like, come by, we'll give it a shot. And they gave me this opportunity to come in, random Mexican kid, and come inside, and they basically treated me like family, and they taught me the most valuable lesson, and that is creating emotion from a design. It was my birthday. It was like you guys don't even have to get me anything. I was so excited about learning this amazing thing, and ever since then, it's like, it's about color, it's about each font you use, it's about the positioning of every little thing to create emotion. You got to navigate the eye with emotion. It's I can explain it to you, but I don't know sometimes how I do it. You know, it just kind of happens. And, you know, and that's the first thing they told me. It was like, you just have the eye. And I never really knew what that was until, you know, now. So, you know, with that, and, you know, I did a couple, I had people, basically friends, that took me under their wings and were like, you know, this is how you design, this is how you do Photoshop, you know, this is how you run a full-fledged company. And, you know, when everything was going downhill a year ago, you know, I lost my job, I lost my car, my girlfriend who I was in love with broke up with me, I got evicted from my house, you know, everything was gone. And I was like, you know what, like, screw it, I'll just be an artist, and I'll stay at people's houses, and, you know, that's how I really thought. But of course I had bills and stuff, so I was like, oh crap, I gotta move to Ventura. And it kind of just gave me, all those people that took me under their wing gave me this great, I don't know, I guess they just like pushed me. They helped me, you know, have the courage to start Momentum, to bring it back up, you know, because I started it originally in 2005 with my best friend, Rabbi, and basically from there, he moved away to Los Angeles, and he's got his own collaborative. They're doing amazing. It's circlebrand.com. They're amazing. They just came back from Japan, you know, big, you know, huge work. You know, so I get inspiration from them. You know, my inspiration comes from everybody around me. I could be buying, you know, chiclets at a freaking store at the, you know, on the avenue, and I like to connect people, and I really just, you know, as you can tell, I'm really, you know, passionate about what I do. So everybody who meets me are like, you know, people take to that. People really want, you know, what's this guy all about? Like, why is he all chipper? Sometimes people get pissed off, like, who the heck's this guy? Who does this guy think he is? Like, that's just, I guess, you know, with all this time, with all this, you know, people around me that were so successful, it was only, you know, a matter of time before I kind of caught on. I mean, I remember doing graphics, and I was like, no, man, you don't have to pay me for that. Like, it's cool, it's fine. But, you know, as I started developing, you know, I got a couple, like, you gave that away? Like, what do you mean? You know, and so you grow, and you really develop, and that, I guess that's what Momentum is to me. It's like moving forward for the greater good.
So you talked about a couple things. When I was with Jim Rice, he was showing me this concert with James Brown sliding on the stage, Bob Rohde on the side, doing this, and then the two of them coming out with music that, you know, you'll never hear before or again or since. So how do you push things together? You started talking about it a little. You got 5 different medium. So how do things get pushed together?
Collaborative. It's all of them were my friends. So I basically, you know, I was very selective about who it was. We just meshed together really well, and we're on the same level. Everybody's just as passionate about their skill and their art and their trade, basically. And, you know, that, with all of that involved, you know, everything involved, it's like, you know, then what's gonna stop us, you know? You know, we're young, you know, that's why I think it's something really nice to add to Bell Arts, is you know, they're in the up and coming. They've got, you know, they're trying to add new hip people, more modern look. They're bringing all you know, old art and new art, and just trying to, you know, I feel like, you know, if he wasn't looking for that kind of artist, if we weren't just happen to be looking for, you know,